It's a good bet that most New Mexico homeowners haven't given a second thought to flood insurance. After all, we live in one of the country's driest states. But if you're told you have to buy insurance against a torrential downpour, it could occupy your every thought and even threaten your home. KRQE News 13's special assignment reporter Matt Grubbs has been finding homeowners in that very predicament. Very interesting. Good morning, Matt. Thanks for dropping in.
Good morning. Absolutely.
Kind of a scary thought here. Who can force someone to buy flood
Well,
insurance?
it's the folks who make the rules and the folks who have the money. So we're talking about the feds and we're talking about the banks. So especially if you're trying to buy a home that's in a flood zone, the federal government can say, okay, you're in the flood zone, and the banks can say, you're not getting a mortgage unless you buy flood insurance.
Wow, it sounds pricey. Is it expensive?
It can be, especially when you consider how much it's going to cost you over the course of owning your home. So say you have a 30-year mortgage, you're talking $20,000 probably easy over the term of that mortgage. $30,000, $40,000 over the lifetime of that mortgage. It can really add up quickly.
That's interesting. Why can the federal government do this?
Well, think back to something like Superstorm Sandy or some of the hurricanes on the Gulf Coast. The feds who run the National Flood Insurance Program are just paying out for all this stuff because there are all these coastal homeowners, and so the program is actually insolvent. There's been a program in place for many, many years that has subsidized what folks pay for this. So that's potentially going away, and Congress is really trying to shore up the program. So FEMA's redrawing all its flood maps, and a lot of people are getting a big surprise.
And who is in a flood zone? I mean, how do you know?
Well, they base it on a 100-year flood. So FEMA takes a look at all these maps and water flow and all that kind of stuff, and they say, okay, so if you get just sort of this torrential flood, think back to maybe like last September, October, when we were getting all that rain, that's kind of what they're looking at. The problem is they're not always right, and we have actually found one woman who got drawn into a flood zone, and it turns out she's not alone. There are hundreds of these people all over the state as these maps get redrawn who all of a sudden have to buy flood insurance, and it can be expensive and a pain to tell the feds they made a mistake.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Matt, thank you so much for dropping in. Looking forward to your story, which runs tonight on KRQE News 13 at 10. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks.